All right, let's talk about Midnight. This is a brand new project popping up in the Cardano ecosystem, and it just made a pretty big splash with its token, Night. But here's the thing, Midnight isn't just another crypto project. It's a really ambitious attempt to solve a puzzle that has been a real head-scratcher for the crypto world for years.
And that puzzle brings us to the single biggest question driving this whole thing. Is it actually possible for a cryptocurrency to give its users real, meaningful privacy while also playing by the rules and keeping regulators happy? That is the massive challenge that Midnight is built to solve.
So what exactly is Midnight? Well, it's being built by IOG, or Input Output Global. Yep, the very same people behind Cardano itself. And their promise, their big goal, is to finally crack the code on a problem that has tripped up so many other projects before.
Now pay close attention to the wording here. This isn't about total, untraceable anonymity. The promise is for verifiable privacy, with built-in compliance tools for auditors and smart contracts that can keep their data confidential. You can see right away this is aimed squarely at businesses, governments, and big institutions, a totally different crowd than your typical crypto project.
For a while, this was all just talk and theory. But just recently, things got very, very real. The Night token officially launched and the project hit the live market on the Cardano network for the first time.
So, the first thing that jumps out at you is the sheer scale. We're talking about a total supply of 24 billion Night tokens. That massive number has, you guessed it, become a huge point of discussion and debate in the community, especially when people start talking about what that means for the token's price down the road.
And it's super important to remember this launch is just the beginning. This isn't a flip the switch, we're done situation. It's a 4-phase plan. We are in phase 1, high-low, which is literally just the token launch. The mainnet in phase 2 and real decentralization in phase 3, that's all still to come. So we are at the very, very start of a long road.
So, how'd the market take it? Well, it was a tale of two cities. On one hand, the hype was absolutely real. The token did over $100 million in trading volume on its first day alone. But on the other hand, the market did exactly what it always does with new launches, crazy volatility. We saw these sharp spikes followed by some pretty quick sell-offs. It's a classic crypto launch 101 pattern.
But hey, market swings are just one part of the story. The real long-term value of Midnight, if it's going to succeed, is going to come from its technology. So let's pop the hood and see what actually makes this project tick.
The secret sauce here is something called Zero Knowledge Proofs, or ZKPs. Now that sounds complicated, but the idea is actually pretty simple. This tech lets you prove that something is true, like a transaction is valid, without having to reveal the sensitive data behind it. Think of it like this. You can prove you have the key to a door without actually showing the key to anyone. It's the cryptographic magic that could unlock this whole idea of verifiable privacy.
And this is where you can see the huge difference between Midnight and other privacy coins. Projects like Monero or Zcash, they go for total anonymity, right? Everything is private by default. Midnight's goal is completely different. It's about selective and verifiable privacy. It's built for institutions that need to protect their data, but also need a way to prove they're compliant to, say, an auditor.
And what's really key here is that Midnight is building a whole ecosystem. It's using these advanced ZKPs, it's creating a new developer-friendly language called Compact, and it's being designed from the ground up to work with Cardano and eventually traditional financial systems. They're not trying to be an Ethereum killer. They're trying to carve out their own very specific, and let's be honest, very challenging niche.
Of course, none of this tech matters without people. So what are people actually saying about this? Well, as you'd probably expect with a project this big and this different, the community is pretty split. You've got a lot of hype on one side and some very real concerns on the other.
So on the positive side, you have a lot of people who really respect the technical groundwork being laid. They see Midnight as a serious project, something with real substance, not just marketing fluff. There's a lot of trust in the IOG team, and they really buy into this vision of regulated privacy. But then you get the flip side of that argument, and it's a strong one. A lot of people are looking at the tokenomics. Remember that 24 billion supply? And they're worried. The fear is that even if the technology is amazing, there could be so much selling pressure in the future that it just weighs down the token's price for a very long time.
I think this quote really nails the general feeling in the Cardano community. It's this blend of long-term hope and short-term realism. People believe that if Midnight can pull this off, the impact could be absolutely massive. But pretty much everyone agrees that this is not going to happen quickly.
Okay, so let's pull all these threads together. Let's try to get a balanced look at the whole project, weighing the very real potential against some of the big hurdles it's facing.
So here's how it breaks down. On the strength side, you've got a top-tier team, you've got unique tech, a really clear and focused goal, and the full weight of the Cardano ecosystem behind it. That's a lot going for it. But the weaknesses are just as real. The market volatility is intense, the tokenomics are definitely up for debate, nobody has actually adopted it yet, and yeah, this is a very long-term project. We're talking years, not months.
So if you remember one thing, it should be this. Midnight is not a project for people looking for quick flips. This is a long-term, high-stakes bet on the idea that functional, regulated privacy is going to become a massive need in the future. Its success will depend entirely on real-world adoption, not just trading hype.
And that really leaves us with the ultimate multi-billion-dollar question. The tech might work, the team is solid, but is the market, are actual businesses and institutions truly ready to embrace this new kind of verifiable privacy? The answer to that one question is what will ultimately decide Midnight's fate.